Hey folks, want to share with you some seed starting tips today. Probably about 4 tips that's going to change the way you start seeds. Now, I've been growing seeds a long time. This information today is coming from an old man that's had tried and true methods. So I want to share them with you today so you can be successful growing plants from seed. Number one, to start with a good seed starting mix. Now, either one of these are wonderful, and I'll explain to you why. A good seed starting mix is pretty fine. And the reason it's fine is because you need good seed to soil contact. Now you see this mix right here. It's got them bigger pine. Let's see if we can find them here. See those bigger pine bark chips in there? Now that mix right there is fine for starting ornamentals or potting soil, for potting bigger plants up. It works fine because you don't need that fineness so that the soil is surrounded by moisture and soil. But when starting seeds, you got to make sure that your seed starting mix is nice and fluffy, got good amount of perlite in there, good peat moss, and fine. That makes all the difference in the world when starting seeds. Number two is use good seeds. Now, we ain't the only one that carries good seeds, but all of our seeds are really good seeds with good germination and good vigor. You don't want to put all this work, time, and money into starting seeds and start with bad seed. If you're buying cheap seeds, they're cheap for a reason. You want good seeds, good fresh seeds with good germination and also good vigor. Something most people don't want to talk about, but good vigor is just as important as good germination there. So always start with good seeds and you'll be on the right track. Well, heat and humidity, that's what you need to get your seeds started. Let's look here and see what it says on the Hoss heat mat on tomatoes, 85 degrees. And look there, I got a whole 162 flat planted of Hossinator tomatoes. There's my little label right there. I wet them good after I got them planted. I covered them with perlite. And then this little trick I'm going to show you here, wrap this tray in saran wrap. Now we use the big old rolls here at the shop like this right here, and I can be honest with you, it's a little bit of a job to wrap them by yourself, so you may want to get you some help with this. Now you can buy you some of that cheap dollar store saran wrap and it works fine. But you just want to wrap that up real nice and tight, and all that moisture inside there on that heat mat. Let's don't forget, we're at 85 degrees on a heat mat. That heat's going to radiate up, keep this nice and warm, and that moisture is going to stay inside of it. Now after about a day, you're going to see all that moisture on that saran wrap in there. 3 days time, people, I cut this off and those seeds are starting to sprout. You start seeing a little green in there in 3 days time. On stuff like cabbage, collards, things like that, it's 24 hours and you cut it off. Sweet peppers, about 5 days. Hot peppers, about 3 days, same thing. It increases your germination dramatically. You'll be amazed. So heat with a heat mat, a good heat mat, and humidity. And you can do that with humidity dome, but I just kind of like this little method right here. Works wonderful. Number four, this is a good one here. Don't get caught up in myths and all this mess out there they peddling on the internet talking about soil blocking. This is one of them soil blocking things. Now I had bought one years ago just to demonstrate. Well, I threw it away because I didn't want to be looking at it. And I had to go borrow one from my mother-in-law. She got chenooed into buying one a few years ago. So the theory behind this thing is it is more sustainable than planting in trays. Well, what happened was years ago, this is what we had. These old cheap trays like this right here. See if I can get it up right there. And these old cheap trays were throwaways. Use them one time and throw them away. Somebody come up with this soil blocking technique and said it was a lot better. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It may be better than using those cheap throwaways. But as far as being sustainable, I don't know. You have to buy this mix that they sell for your little stick together. And then you have to get it all the moisture right just there. And you have to play with it. And then you push this down in there. I've done it several times. It ain't near as easy as what they demo it to be. And you take it up and then you throw it out like that. See there, it fall apart. You got to have everything perfect for it to work. It'll take you a long time to plant one tray. If you like working in the dirt and wasting a lot of time and wasting a lot of money, this is probably for you. But if you're trying to grow your own food and do it as economical as possible, you need to be using these heavy duty trays. Now we sell the 162s and we sell the 338s. Heck, we even got some 12s and 24s down here. Now these are the hard plastic that's going to last for years. Look at there. Man, that is so much better than that soil blocking junk. So my tip here is don't get caught up on fads. You're going to be wasting a lot of money, a lot of time trying to make something work that simply you don't need. Yeah, number 5, fertilizer. This is where most people fail at. As soon as these plants get coming up, you see that right there? Just a day or two, it's going to have what we call the true leaves on there. When I start seeing those true leaves emerge, and they're going to come out of that center right there, I'm going to start getting me some fertilizer through there on those plants. If you don't, they're going to get stunted, and that's what happens when you have those plants that don't grow off like you think they should. Use a good water-soluble fertilizer. We use it in the hose siphon, just like this right here, 16:1. We mix it up in that bucket right there, and it pulls it out of there at a ratio of 16:1. It goes through our watering wand, and we keep those plants fed. If you don't keep those plants fed, they just ain't gonna grow off right. Look at there, ain't that pretty? And look here, some of that organic fertilizers has its place. I'm not saying it don't, but it just won't convert and make those plants pop like that 2020 will. If you want to learn more about vegetable gardening and growing your own food, check this out.